Every trainer's adventure begins by acquiring their own Kryptomon. While the easiest way to do this is purchasing it through the marketplace, some trainers will be lucky enough to earn a free Kryptomon through community events such as the Egg Hunt. In this section of the video, I will be showing you how to access the marketplace and buy an egg, followed by how I evaluate eggs. Once you navigate yourself to the Kryptomon website, you will find that the buying process is quite simple. You can see that players can purchase eggs using Kmon, BNB, or make bids on eggs using WBNB. So search through the marketplace, find a Kryptomon that's a good match for you. You'll click on it, make sure you're viewing V2 stats, as these will be the in-game stats. Give it a quick preview, look over it, make sure everything is what you want, and then you will click buy, pay the BNB price here, as well as a little bit in gas fees, and then you will own your very own Kryptomon NFT. Although the purchase process is quite simple, the hard part is finding a Kryptomon that is a good fit for you. There are currently 3 defining categories of Kryptomon: attacker, defender, and balanced. All 3 have their pros and cons, as well as stats that they are looking for. In this section, I will be going over a Kryptomon from each category, as well as the stats that I believe are best suited for them. So just a bit of a disclaimer, this is my evaluation of the Kryptomon. Some people may have higher or lower evaluations, but I'm just giving you a jumping point for your own research. I encourage you to check out the white paper, read up on the stats, and make these evaluations yourselves. Whenever I'm on the hunt for a new egg, I use this community managed website by Kien, an amazing community member that has set up this website for us. With just the Kryptomon's ID number, you will have all relevant stats presented to you in a nice, easy manner. We will begin with an evaluation of what I believe is a good attack type Kryptomon, and I just want to put a brief disclaimer in this section. These are my personal beliefs. Other people may view other stats as more important, but if you're just starting off in the game, I can give you a good baseline, and you can read the white paper yourself, look at what the stats mean, and make the final decision call. So obviously, for your attack type Kryptomon, you're going to want to have a high attack here. Decent constitution. It's not a defensive Kryptomon, so its stamina and resistance may be lacking. Its instinct is high, which will help with dodge chance. Its craziness is high, which will help with crit damage, and it is very brave. So I think this is a good baseline of stats you want to look for when you're looking for an attack type Kryptomon. Like I said, double check the white paper, read up on what all the stats mean, and make the final call yourself. But I believe for an attacker, you're going to want to have high attack, obviously, great instinct, great craziness, and above average speed so you can get that first hit in. Next, we will be looking at what I believe is a good framework for a defensive type Kryptomon. So unlike our attacker, the attack is kind of low. It's not make or break, but obviously high attack is never bad. Then the 3 most important stats on a tank for me are going to be constitution, stamina, and resistance. So if you want to be an unstoppable force that's just getting hit left and right and always getting back up, you're definitely going to want to have at least 80 in all of these stats, or at least something green. And then there's other stats down here. Obviously, the higher the better, but I don't think any of them are make or break. So for your defensive Kryptomon, I would definitely look for high constitution, stamina, and resistance. Finally, we will look at what is a good framework for a balanced type Kryptomon. So this one is the easiest of the 3. For an all-arounder, you're going to want good stats in every category. So there is no perfect Kryptomon, but you're going to want as many greens and oranges as you can in this category. So as you can see, I found myself a pretty decent one. We have above average attack, stamina, resistance, instinct, craziness, decent speed, and constitution. So you'll never find a perfect all-arounder, but it doesn't excel in any one category, but it has decent stats all around, which makes for a great balanced type Kryptomon. Once you purchase your Kryptomon, you'll head back to your dashboard, click on Kryptomon, and it'll appear right here. And then you can navigate to the game with this play tab up here. If it's your first time accessing the game, you will need an invite code since we are still in soft launch. You can find players giving these out in the Telegram or Discord, so just ask around in there and I'm sure a community member will send you an invite. So once here, you are going to have to connect your wallet to the site. Right here, the easiest way to do it is MetaMask. If you have a Trust wallet, you can import it to MetaMask. And if you have a hardware wallet, you can also import it to MetaMask. But I'm not too sure about all those. So the easiest way for right now is to just have a MetaMask browser connection. You'll click right there. The load time sometimes can be very long depending on server overload and server demand. But as you can see, we are in. So for this section of the game, I'll be going over tips and tricks to help you in the Tamagotchi phase. This is one of my accounts that I haven't bought a single loot box on to show you that you can definitely take care of your Kryptomon with just the free daily loot boxes you get from the game. So, a lot of the issues that I see players facing is hunger, and they're very stressed about their Kryptomon being at hunger 0. But I don't see that as a problem, as your Kryptomon won't freeze unless you have 2 bars hitting 0. So, as long as you keep health and happiness up, you won't have a problem. So, these are living NFTs, so you will have to check on them. For the time being, there is no caring center or a place to send them to take care of them for you or automatically. So you will have to check on them. I check on mine. I think I check on this wallet about every night before bed. And if I plan on doing some training, I'll give them some food because, as you can tell, you can only train if your Kryptomon stats are at all yellow, I believe. But if I don't plan on doing any training for the night, I'll open up my free loot boxes that you see here, and then I will give them a health item to keep that bar at about half, and I will give them a toy item to keep that bar at about half. Because to prevent them from freezing, like I said, you just got to keep 2 stat bars above 0. I find myself to have an abundant amount of health and toys, so those are the 2 bars I focus on, while I leave fullness at 0 unless I plan on doing some training. Another way to combat the hunger issues that I see a lot of player facing, as well as just maximize the efficiency of your items, is to figure out your Kryptomon's favorite food. So your Kryptomon will have a guaranteed favorite food in one of those basic loot box items. So as you can see here, I have apples, chicken legs, candy, and fish. These are the basic loot box items, as you can see here. Yes, as you can see here. Sorry, candy wasn't on the screen. So you can see that apple, fish, chicken leg, water, and candy are all in the free loot boxes you'll get daily. So it's really important to find out one of these will be your Kryptomon's favorite and give it a boost in the fullness bar when you use it. So if I have found out through gameplay that Kula actually loves apples. So apples are only supposed to give 10, but since it's one of his favorite foods, it actually gives him plus 18. So it's very efficient if I use apples on Kula, as I actually get basically 2 apples every time I feed him worth of stats for just 1 apple. So it's very important to find out your Kryptomon's favorite food. And currently there's a little bit of a UI bug. So as you can see, apples actually give him 18. So it updated the UI to match that. But then when I go to Elsa and I attempt to feed her the same thing, the UI doesn't change and it doesn't update that I am no longer feeding Kula. So it'll only give the basic plus 10. So I would always double check. If you use the crypto tool site, you can see what the value is supposed to give. So I actually know that Elsa's favorite food is chicken. It's supposed to give plus 14, but since it's Elsa's favorite food, chicken actually gives, and you can see the UI updated again. So it's supposed to give 14, but it actually gave a lot more. So it's important to find out your Kryptomon's favorite foods to maximize that efficiency in filling your fullness bar. And finally, one of the most important things you should be doing right now is training your Kryptomon. So when you train your Kryptomon, you'll go to this tab. Every time you open that free loot box, you'll get 1 training ticket, as well as 1 training ticket in the bronze box, 12 in the silver, and 20 in the gold. So if you're really looking to hyper train, silver is actually the most efficient for training tickets. Just a fun fact I learned. So when you're training your Kryptomon, you'll see that you'll have these 4 stats to increase. I talked about them briefly when analyzing Kryptomon in the marketplace, but you can read up in the white paper to figure out what each of them do in more detail. But I'll go over them just slightly. So main family 1 talent will increase Elsa's ice type moves. Main family talent 2 will increase Elsa's air type moves. So this increases her primary family's moves damage, her secondary family moves damage. This increases her attack and health, and this increases her defense and special defense. So for me, if you don't know what you want to train, and you're just you want to use tickets so you're being efficient with your time, I think Constitution is always a safe bet. It never hurts to have more health. It never hurts to be more beefy. If you're going for more of a glass cannon attacker, I would throw some points into the main family 1 talent and maybe main family talent 2. And then if you're going for more of a tanky one, you're going to want to do Constitution and Resistance. And for your all-arounders, you're going to want to train all 3 evenly. So as you can tell, I got Elsa up to the minimum level. All of her bars are yellow. So now I can begin training. Elsa's not very smart, which is what is correlated to the timer for training. So if your Kryptomon is not very smart, training will take a lot longer. As you can see, at 7 smart, it's going to take Elsa almost an hour to train. But all you have to do is drag your ticket over them, and training will begin. And you saw that animation there, really sick. So these training stats are permanent. So if you transfer or sell your Kryptomon, these stats will stay. So not only does this increase the strength of your Kryptomon, but it increases the value of your NFT. And the only way to lose these stats is if your Kryptomon freezes by you letting 2 bars hit 0. But like I said, as long as you check and get your daily loot boxes and check on your pets, there's more than enough to keep your Kryptomon above freezing levels. Next, I'll be covering some of the more advanced tactics when it comes to training. So, one of those is utilizing the smartness boost that you get when your Kryptomon has 290 in all, or in its love category. So, as you can tell, right now, my training time is 20 minutes for Kona, and that's when his love is at 249. But if we give him just a few more items and get this love to 290, we will activate the smartness boost since he's very well taken care of. He's eager to train. We're being a little less efficient with our item uses, but for the video, that's fine. So you can see our love is now at 291. So our training or our smartness boost has kicked in and our training time has actually decreased. There might be a little bit of a visual error, but it should once I activate this train update. So it normally takes 20 minutes, but as you can see by the actual timer, with that 290 love boost activated, it's only going to take me 12 minutes to train instead of 20. So it cut off almost 50% of that train time when I got that love boost of 290, which can be very efficient, but also kind of costly with items. So I would only do this if you can set aside an hour or two to kind of hyper train your Kryptomon. Another mechanic of the training system is the increasing training tickets and sessions required to gain 1 level. As you can see in this screenshot I have here, it takes a total of 265 tickets to max out 1 stat. For levels 1 to 6, it will only take 1 ticket and 1 training session. But from levels 7 to 11, it will take 2 tickets and 2 training sessions. And this will continue to increase, all the way up to level 50, where from level 47 to level 50, it will take you 10 training sessions and 10 tickets to get just that 1 level from 47 to 48. So this is a bit of min-maxing. These last few levels will definitely take you a lot more time and tickets, but it's definitely doable. As you can see here, when training came out, I stayed logged in on the server for days and trained nonstop to get what I believe is the first maxed out Kryptomon. So as you can see here, Amber here, she is 96 smart, and with the 290 love boost bonus, I was able to max her out in about 40 hours of training and lots of tickets, which meant lots and lots of silver loot boxes. But as you can see, training is definitely worth it. I got 10 times my base constitution, 10 times my base resistance, and my EST is up to 980, and my secondary main family talent, or also known as elemental strength, is 970. So training is definitely worth it, and it's free. You can do it with just the items you get in those free daily loot boxes. So I highly encourage you, hop on every day, collect your boxes, and get that training done. Lastly, I just wanted to touch on the play to earn mechanics of the game. They are not currently live as we are in the Tamagotchi phase, and play to earn is set to release later this year, but it never hurts to touch up on it. So all of this information is in the white paper, but I will go over it briefly here. So one way to earn will be through the quest line in the game. They will get progressively harder, starting at quest 1 being very simple. Let's say beat Team Rocket Grunt, something like that. Something very simple, very easy quest. And let's say go all the way up to quest 10, which is beat the champion. And these are examples from Pokemon, but just kind of giving you an idea of like the difficulty scaling. So the quest will start off easy and get progressively harder, and your rewards will increase along the way. And then the bread and butter of the game, as it states here in the white paper, is through daily challenges. So you'll log on, do a couple of challenges, get a little bit of Kmon, get some time with your Kryptomon, put in some training to increase your NFT value. And this will be the easiest way to earn a little bit of money from the game is through these daily challenges. Finally, before signing off, I just wanted to say that the dev team is working constantly to get updates out for this game. So some of the information in this video may be dated in the next few months or so. So definitely make sure to join the Telegram and Discord channels I link below. These are the official game channels. So if you want to be up to date with the latest game news, definitely join those and keep an eye on those to see what the dev team is doing to improve the game.